Hey, Jason Small and Dave Smith here at United Country Land Pros. We were just here talking about our newest listing here in Scotland and Clark County here north of Arbela, Missouri, up to Mount Sterling, Iowa. This property is 670 acres. It has a nice lodge, and the property is actually set up in 4 parcels, and they're kind of scattered from the Iowa line down to Arbela, about 12 miles down through there, I think, something like that. We just wanted to get on here and talk about, kind of break the farms down a little bit. We've got some other videos coming and things like that, but we wanted to talk about individual properties. The way this is set up, there's 488 acres on the Iowa line, and this is the first piece this family acquired, the 125 on there, 126 on the north side of the old dirt road up there, and then they eventually added on to the 488. But it literally joins Iowa on the north side. And then there's about 145 acres of CRP, 146 acres of CRP on that piece. And they're farming 30 acres on the south side of the big draw on the south side of the property. It's got access, good gravel road to the southeast, a dirt road in the middle on the south side is how a guy gets to it. So it's pretty low traffic. I mean, it's as far as a management area, great deer population up there, turkey population, pretty decent income. I think the income off of everything for the tillable and the CRP is about $20,000, a little under $20,000 a year.
Just a hair under. And it also, that 488 lays in Clark County, and the other pieces are in Scotland.
Yep. So it's right on the line. They're all just right on the line, and you can almost draw a line from Mount Sterling south to Arbela and pretty close to touch all the properties. They've got several food plots on that 488 up there. I think there's probably 6 or 8 food plots, green plots down in the timber, and then they've got some grain and things like that. They have some corn and beans out in the open. There's a nice stock pond on it. We've actually fished it with the boys. Caught a bunch of crappie in it, and I think you said they've stocked everything that can be stocked in northeast Missouri on that.
He said walleyes even in there if they're still alive, and I don't know, they had bluegill and crappie and
I think as far as the turkey hunting, I think you said they've taken the friends of the family or whatever have taken probably 4 birds off this year. And I'm sure there's way more than that in there then. But yeah, so that's the 488 kind of in an overview in a nutshell. There is some marketable timber on it. They've done some TSI up there and some thinning and things like that. They have everything cabled and gated for the trails and. This property is going to sell with most of the deer stands on it. They talked about taking a couple, right?
A couple. They also have a handicapped deer stand on there. They had a handicapped deer hunter that hunted with them, and it's brand new. Sets over top of a green plot.
Yeah. So this farm's going to come, pretty well ready to go. Food plots are established, things like that. Hadn't put them in yet. I guess we're just now the 1st of May. But there's going to be some food plots there ready to go, some green plots, literally turnkey. This whole property, the 670 is a turnkey deal. Bring your suitcase and come hunt, with the deer stands and everything. So the next piece we'll talk about is about 3 miles south and west, and it is in Scotland County, and it's 59 acres, and they call this the Berry Patch. It's all hardwood, white oak ridges, rolls. It's sets up above the 2 good bottoms in there. There's 2 good landowners in there that have a bunch of row crop in below it. And this is kind of the piece that ties it all together. I know you've hunted that piece as well.
Killed several turkeys on it. It's a real good turkey hunting spot along with the deer hunting also.
Yeah, It's one of those places you can come in and catch a deer cruising on those white oak ridges, living in there, and then going down to feed in the evenings and things like that, and the row crop that joins it. But these pieces, it kind of gives you an idea, a chance to, instead of having 670 acres in one piece, it kind of gives you an opportunity to hunt more deer. Where if you had a block at a section, you might have 3 or 4 mature deer, maybe not that many, but that you want to kill. 4, 5, 6-year-old deer that are mature. And this kind of gives you the opportunity to hunt different herds of deer and more mature deer in that same sense. And it's only about 3 miles from that 488 on the Iowa line there. So it's it's a a side-by-side ride.
Yeah, it lays up on the bluff there, right above a nice creek bottom. That a lot of deer travel that thing.
Yep, and there's trails throughout. These guys are really big about maintenance and maintaining these trails and being able to get around. And and if you have a trail, they're just deer just like you and me. They're going to want to funnel up the trail rather than walk through the brush in certain instances. So they've got a pretty good trail system. They've got a few deer stands on that as well. It's a great little piece that lays off to the southwest there. And is definitely a good addition to this property. And then the next piece, as far as the hunting property, is 122 acres, and they call that the Everett Timber. It's 122 acres with about 15 acres of open food plots,
front and the back.
In the front and the back. It has a deeded, recorded easement to it, good gravel access off the county road. It enters the property on the southeast corner of it, and they've actually rocked the property all the way through from the southeast corner up to the northwest corner. Got some deer stands in there. I mean, they've put in good crossings. All their crossings are,
they've laid slabs down for a base and then come over the top with 3-inch and stuff, and they're set up good.
There's county roads in the roads in the county that aren't as good a roads as the one they have through there. So same thing. I know they've killed that's where the ridge in there where
the one brother's killed like 19
birds. Yeah, the kill ridge in there. He's got a tree that he likes in there, and he's killed a pile of turkeys on it. They've killed some good deer on it. It's another piece that it's the biggest piece of block of timber in a section there, and there's 2 or 3 veins of draws and things like that funnel down into that.
You get a lot of bucks that you don't see all year long.
Cruising deer. I mean, there's going to be deer that are going to live there, but then there's going to be, there's 110 acres or near 110 acres of timber. There's a lot of deer that are going to live there, but there's also a lot of deer that are going to cruise through there and got great access to it. And that farm's probably about 6 miles south of the berry patch, 6 miles south of the 59 acres.
Yeah.
So and it's actually about 3 miles from the lodge, and which our next property to talk about is the lodge. It sits right there in city limits of Arbela, right?
Yeah.
And it's actually been something that they've like anything, as they acquired and got more involved in it up here, they've added on. They started with a trailer house, a single wide trailer house, and it's in great shape. They've maintained everything to the nines, and then they built a 40 by 40 cabin onto it with 3 bedrooms and a bathroom, 2 bathrooms.
Yeah.
The bathroom.
Yep.
And nice kitchen. Everything's done in oak, done really well and built well. And then they added a shop to it.
The shop has a bathroom also.
Yep, the shop has a bathroom. It's all heated and cooled. You can drive in from the one side of it all the way through it. You can park inside of it with the trailer on and just pull straight through. And then once they got done with that, they added on processing room, which is, there's meat lockers that don't have as nice a processing facility. There's 2 rails when you pull in with a deer, you winch it up with a winch, the 2 winches that are already there, put it on the rail system, and you can wheel that thing through the whole plant processing plant, I'd call it, right to the cooler. So you can cut the deer up, you can skin it out, do whatever you want to do there, and then roll it right into the cooler, and then let it cool out, and then cut it later or whatever you want to do. But it's all set up to be washed down. The walls are the plastic where you can spray it down, and it's really impressive. Maybe the most impressive thing about the lodge, and they built that in about 6-8 years ago, something like that.
I think 19.
Yeah, so maybe 5 years ago. And above that, they actually put more living quarters. They've got 2-bedroom, 1-bath living quarters up there, and it sleeps. They've got a couple bunk beds in there. Sleeps, I think, 6 or 7 up there.
The whole building's on demand, hot water. They have 2 different systems and central air.
They've done it right. Just kind of added on as they went. They needed more room. I think they can sleep 17 people. We figured between the trailer that sits on the north side and then the lodge all the way through, and then the south end is another like a 40 by 40 shop or machine shed.
Yeah, just a gravel floor, but it's super nice
to keep their tractors and whatnot, tractors and planters and discs and whatever else they've got there. So, and it's all within. You can literally ride a side by side from the lodge if you wanted to, all the way to the Iowa farm. It'd be a little poke through there, but this thing is I mean, we've never had a farm that was as high end hunting farm as what this whole situation, setup is. And like we spoke about, having a contiguous piece, having these pieces split out, we think you could potentially have 6, 8, 10 target bucks, with the different deer herds you can be able to hunt with those 3 different properties down through there being spread out the way they are. So that's kind of an overview of this property, and like I said, we've got some videos coming and some interviews with the owners, one of the owners, I guess, the brothers, and some more stuff on the lodge and things like that. But we kind of wanted to give an overview of what this property is and what it could be. Anyway, if you have any questions, you can give Dave a call. What's your phone number, Dave?
660-216-3405.
And you can check it out on our website, www.weknowdirt.net. We'll see you.